Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So last week we saw the two techniques of meditation. The first one in the 8th verse was Mayeva Mana Adatsva May Buddhim Niveshaya Nivasisyashi Mayeva Ata Urdvana Sanshaya. We are in Gyaneshwari chapter 12 verse number 10 today. So here when he says that fix your mind on me, and mind meaning here mind and intellect, bhavatmak and shraddhatmak way, by faith and by devotion, place your mind in me, and those people, this is the best way. This verse is about bhakti yoga. This is what has to be done. So one must begin with this. And if you're, and don't be over, how should I say, overconfident or arrogant. No, I am a devotee, I am practicing bhakti marg. No, now the data is given that if you are, by mind and intellect, if it is placed in the Lord for Him to possess your mind, it will happen just like that. Like my grandfather, her father, when he used to sit, before he could finish his third Om, he used to go into meditation. He used to be in breathing very shallow, heartbeat very shallow, eventually stops also. But he could not even complete the third one many times. And here we are continuously again and again and again, and हम लगे रहते हैं. Taking name of the Lord is not bhakti yoga. Bhakti yoga is placing your mind at the feet of the Lord. If that is not possible, the Krishna Bhagavan here says, here and in this verse what is told also is that see, our mind is made up of, in the second verse now, our mind is made up of sankalpa vikalpa. What is sankalpa vikalpa? That it makes decisions and it makes choices. Decisions are made at the level of intellect, and choices are taken or are presented, options are given to us at the level of mind, where so much data is coming in through our senses. Intellect makes the decision on which option to choose, isn't it? So this is sankalpa vikalpa. So there are three things. First is chit, which is consciousness. Then chitta, which is accumulated consciousness, where seeing, hearing, touching, feeling is taking place, everything is going on. And the third is chitta, so it means where the double ta is there. And that chitta is where the karma sanskars have precipitated. Chitta is where sankalpa vikalpa option, decisions and optional living, what we call, that is at the chitta level, which is our, what we call as the mind. See? And if that is where we are finding ourselves, because the first one was fix your mind in the Lord, repose your mind in the Lord and allow the mind to take over, but that is not happening. Then second option, what was the second option? Atha chittam samadhatum na shaknoshi mai sthiram abhyasa yogena tato mam ichhaptum dhananjaya. O Dhananjaya, O accumulator of the wealth, if you cannot concentrate your mind on me, then seek to reach me by repeated yoga. And this is what so here in the first place, in the first case, in the 8th verse, naturally your mind is going and getting placed without too much, effortlessly. But if you are finding that it is not happening, then practice the second one. What is that? Then desire to know me, desire to gain me, and when this desire is invoked, then automatically the mind will again and again go to, that's what mind is doing all the time. Whatever it desires, it moves towards that. So desire to know me, desire to gain me, and in this way, the Lord, he says that that by regular practice, abhyasa yogena, by regular practice, and yoga is what? Union. And what is that practice of? Practice of continuous seeking to be united with me. In the first case, one thought and you are already there. Or you are very easily able to place yourself at the feet of the Lord or in the Lord. Now again, when I say you are very easily able to, means that you have not done it. Your mind is automatically going in that direction and getting absorbed. But in the second case, if that is not possible, second case is do regular practice of seeking this union with me, the Lord is saying. And now, if that is also not possible, see, 4 options he will give. If that is also not possible, here he says in the 10th verse, Abhyasepya samarthosi mat karma paramo bhava madardhamapi karmani kurvan siddhim avapsyasi. He says, if you are not capable of this repeated yoga also, then be intent on working for me, perform actions for my sake alone, you will attain to perfection. Third, we are coming down in level. First was the ideal one, the bhakti yoga, where naturally your mind is getting placed. Second was repeated practice of union with the Lord. What is that repeated practice? Basically it is dharana. Dharana, dhyan, samadhi. In the first one, samadhi is automatically taking place. In the second one, you are starting from dharana. Dharana is placing your, bringing your attention to the feet of the divine, and there are many distractions. You pull yourself again and again from the distractions back to the focus that you have placed in your mind. That is a yoga. Yoga is not Ashtanga yoga and pranayama and all that. We are not talking about that. Whatever you have, if you have decided the feet of the Lord or the eyes of the Lord or the Varadahast of the Lord, then as you are sitting, in the first case it was naturally going, second case there are distractions. So what is the yoga? Again and again pull your attention back away from the distractions and place them at the feet of the Lord. This is the yoga. And this is the practice that you have to do again and again. And when that happens, automatically, eventually, absorption takes place. In the 10th verse, if you are not able to bring yourself to this point where you can pull your mind away from distractions and bring them to the point of focus, then a little bit more effort is required. In that also effort is required, but mental effort. In the 10th verse, even more effort is required. 8th verse was effortless. 9th verse was a little bit effort. 10th verse is even more effort. Why? The individuality is still very strong. And he says, then be intent on working for me. That means do all the actions for me. Don't do it for yourself. Don't do it for yourself. don't even offer. Every activity that you do, and what is the activity that you have to do? Here he says, do not desire to do any activity. Then which activity to do? Whatever is coming. Say that again.
Just think about the Lord.
No. This is now we are at the activity level. So, physical or mental also, no problem. But whatever is coming, wherever, here it is physical, yes. Wherever the life is placing you in life, whatever circumstances you find in, do what is required to be done as an offering to the Lord. That is what it is told. That is Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga is not that I am doing karma and the result I will offer to the Lord. That is the even lower stage. Next stage. That is the fourth option. We are in the third option. And the third option is, or technique, that whatever, wherever life is placed you, now I am placed here in front of you. This the purpose of coming and sitting here at the Vyaspeeth and talking is to contemplate on the verses. Do that. But not out of arrogance, not out of ownership that I am talking. Be of the disposition that this satsang that is taking place is being inspired by the Lord and it is as an offering to the Lord. It is His inspiration. He is the Karta, He is the Dharta. And He is the Bhokta also. I am not the Karta and Bhokta. Oh, I enjoyed it very much. It was so fantastic. You have become a doer and you have become the enjoyer. See, and in this third option that is given to us, by doing this, what happens? By doing this, our attention is on the, because we are so gross oriented, we cannot give up doing actions. First, again I'll tell you in different way. The first verse, 8th verse was about abidance in the Lord, effortlessly. Second was little bit efforts at the level of mind, regular practice, and you merge. But now in the third, this 10th verse, more efforts. We are not able to give up. We are not subtle enough. We are not able to give up the body identification. But it has understood that I am not the doer, I am not the enjoyer, but we are not able to place ourselves, remind ourselves that all the time. So do it as many times as possible. And in this way, abhyase samarthosi mat to the samarthosi to the best of your ability. Mat karma paramo bhava, and mat karma is do all such actions which take you near to the Lord. Don't do those actions which take you away from the Lord. So what are the actions which will take us away from the Lord? Not thinking about the Lord. That is at the mental level. So here you have to cook food, for example, or you have to clean the house, or you have to take the studies of the children, for example, or whatever the different, oh, I have to do this, oh, I have to do this, oh, I have to do this. The individuality is coming up. But if you take it that this house is the house of the Lord, and the Lord alone is expressing as the husband and children, the Lord alone is expressing as the time and the situations that are arriving at my doorstep on a moment to moment basis, and I have to deal with them. Then whatever activity has to be done, it is getting invoked. Do it in His remembrance. Do whatever is required to, because we think we are doing the activity. We think we are doing the activity. We think I am moving the hand. But it is not so. It is happening. We think we are breathing, but breathing is happening. We are thinking that I am bringing the thoughts in my mind. No, the thoughts are arising in the mind of their own accord. You are not. See? So all actions take place of their own accord. But we have understood, but it is not our experience. So to make it into an experience, we have to offer all activities, manasa kaya vacha, at the feet of the Lord and not take ownership of them. And in this way we get involved in whatever activity life is placing in front of us, because whatever life is placing, activity will get invoked. We are completely involved in the activity, but there is no arrogance of that activity, there is no ownership of that activity, there is no ego of that activity. Why? The situation was is presented by the Lord. The activity is taking place by His will. I am merely the watcher. So when we have this disposition, automatically we become the witness. We are not the doer or the enjoyer. What Gyaneshwari Maharaj says, का अभ्यासा ही लागी कसुना ही तुझिया अंगी तरी आहासी जया भागी तैसाची आस आस इंद्रिये न कोडी भोगाते न तोडी अभिमानु न संडी स्वजातीचा कुळधर्मू चाळी विविध विधी निषेध पाळी मग सुखे तुझ सरळी दिधली आहे परी मने वाचा देहे जैसा जो व्यापारू होये तो मी करी तू आहे ऐसे न म्हणे करणे कान करणे हे आघवे तोची जाणे विश्व चळतसे जेणे परमात्मेनी उणया पुरेयाचे काही उरोने दी आपुलिया ठाही स्वजाती करुनी घेई जीवित्व हे माळिये जेवते नेले तेवते निवांतची गेले तया पाणिया ऐसे केले होवावेगा. He says, if you do not possess the capacity to take up this yoga of practice, then keep your lifestyle as it is. This is the digression. We have come down third level now. So continue. If you are not able to change, you are not able to sit in meditation, you are not able to do regular practice, this is the compassion of the Lord, that He does not let go of any opportunity. Wherever you are, He is giving you a technique to come to Him. You are at the mental level, good. Intellectual level, good. Straight away you have placed. If you are at the level of no, this little bit individuality is there, the idea that I have to put effort is there, okay, then yoga, abhyasa yoga. And there what was the yoga? Yoga is continuously pulling your mind away from distractions and bringing it to the feet of the Lord or to the japa or whatever, to the divine. This is yoga. Because yoga means union. Body can never unite with divine. Impossible. Only mind can. And when mind does merge into the divine, then not only the mind, not only the body, but the entire creation is seen as divine. But body cannot merge into the divine. Only mind does. Because that's where the individuality is. That's where the thoughts are. Body is inert. Yes, thoughts are also inert. But thoughts are subtle inert. Body is gross inert. Do not restrain the senses, do not scale down your sensual enjoyments, and do not give up the pride of your caste. So here, those who are not, I am a Brahmin, I am this, I am Indian, I am Australian, I am born to such a great parentage, I belong to such a great lineage of Shankaracharya. You know, this also is an ego. This also is an ego. Where you are defining yourself by not identifying with the Lord or the self, but you are identifying yourself or on the basis of what you associate with. So first, a human being was associating with parents and saying that he is, and a sannyasi is associating with the parampara. That also is the ego. You have to become free of everything. See? And therefore, continue doing your nitya karma. And nitya karma should not be done. Nitya karma, that is your daily activities, should not be done out of ego. They should be done as an offering to the Lord. So, follow your family customs, observe the rules laid down by the scriptures, and shun actions prohibited by them. Then you are free to follow your own course of action. Best is never decide what your action is going to be. Conduct in your life the way scriptures tell you to do, to the best of your ability. And if that is too much complicated, yeah, people keep coming to us. स्वामी जी मनुस्मृति में ये लिखा है, स्वामी जी वहाँ पे ऐसे लिखा है. What do you do? I said, forget all that. Then what do you do? Find a teacher, find a master, and if with faith, if you ask a question and he answers you to do something, then do it. Then don't question. Don't become an intelligent person in front of him or her that, oh, you are saying this, but it is not given in the scriptures. He has gone beyond that. He is addressing you because he can see you and he can see what will help you grow. And sometimes he thinks out of the box. It's not necessary that you have to say only what is given in the scriptures. Baba, Ammachi, they are nowhere in scriptures it is written that you have to hug for millions of people to share your love. But Ammachi is doing that. Nowhere it is written in scriptures that you must do miracles in order to bring people to spirituality. But Baba used to do that. Each one is doing it the way the Lord is inspiring that equipment to do it. What is yours? What is your take? Till you become available to that, continue. See, I'll explain again afterwards. Then you are free to follow your own course of action. But whatever work you do by means of body, speech, and mind, do not say, "I am doing this." Then what do you say? The Supreme Being, under whose authority all the worldly affairs are carried on, knows what is action and what is non-action. If a work is not completed, then do not brood over it, but adopt the style of life which conforms to your caste. Just as water flows the course as divided by the garter, you also perform your actions renouncing egoistic feeling. See, two things happen. That in this particular option, third option, all karmas, manasa, vacha, kaya, we have to do the karmas for the Lord and not for ourselves. For the Lord. See, you are not as aware in the 8th verse. Then the next was second option, the 9th verse, where Abhyasa Yoga was told, a regular practice of seeking union with the Lord. You are not able to even do that because your mind, your personality is still a bit strong. You are not able to melt yourself, surrender yourself, focus yourself, make your mind single pointed on the divine. You are not able to invoke that. Why? Because still so much of impurity is there in the mind. And what is that impurity? The egoistic feeling. So compared to the first verse, 8th verse, which was Bhakti Yoga, the ego was almost melted. Effortlessly you could put your mind at the feet of the Lord. Naturally your mind is getting pulled. You must be seeing at night the sleep pulls your mind towards it. So in Bhakti Yoga, every morning, afternoon, evening, all the time, mauka mila, the mind pulls you to, the Lord pulls you towards himself. All you have to do is chant 1 or 2 times and you are gone. And if you find that that is not taking place, then the next step, abhyasa yoga, that if whatever the distractions because of which you are not able to be pulled by the Lord, that feeling is not there to go towards, to merge into Him, then do regular practice of pulling your mind away from the distractions and placing it at the feet of the Lord, or contemplating on the name. This is the second option. That also you are not able to do. Okay. Wherever you are. But see, in the first place, whether you are Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, whether you are rich or poor, whether you are male or female, whether you are married or unmarried, it does not matter. Why? Your love for the Lord is so intense that merely, it's not even you. You just make one attempt and it gets sucked in. It's like those people who make one attempt to sleep and they touch the bed and they are gone. And others, they twist and turn and think and light and water and hot water and turmeric milk and everything, and then jaake phir neend aati hai. But why they are doing all this things? Because they want to go to sleep. So the first one is the 8th verse. Second one is the 9th verse. Goal is the same. So he is finding, his attention is on the sleep, but the sleep is not coming. So he's taking his attention away from the distractions to be surrendered to the sleep. The fourth one is what I gave the example: milk, water, this, that, everything. Then Gyaneshwari Maharaj says in the last 4 verses here, Manaune pravrityani nivritti iye bozi neghe mati akhanda chitta vritti masya thai ervitahi subhata uzuka avhata rathukai khatpata karitu ase अठीजे जे कर्म निपजे ते थोड़े बहु न मणिजे निवांतची अर्पिजे माझ्या ठाई ऐसिया मत सद्भावना तनुत्यागी अर्जुना तू सायुज्य सदना माझिया येसी. He says, then your intellect does not have to bear the burden of deciding what one ought to do or avoid doing, so that the heart remains fixed on me without interruptions. This is what we are doing now all the time. Our problem is, ye khaun ke wo khaun. We are living a life of options. In the first 8th verse, Bhakti Yoga, there was no option. In the Abhyasa Yoga, you had decided on the option, that is the Lord, but there are distractions and you are pulling your mind away from the distractions and choosing the option of the Lord. In the third one, distractions are not there. Still the individuality is there. See? But when we are able to, while going through life, wherever we are, able to see the hand of Lord in everything, we don't do anything for ourselves but do it for the Lord as an offering to the Lord. Slowly, the intellect is able to see that the decisions, this is a click that takes place. Right now, when did you come? I came 10 minutes ago. How did you come? I drove the car and came. How did you drive the car? First I came from the work and then I got to the train, then I took the car from the parking lot and then I came. I. See? But this fellow, you can speak this language because that is the norm in the world. But are you aware that inside all these activities, without you prompting those activities, happened, that they happened. Was it that, see, a desire appears in the mind. Then the mind says, oh, I have this desire. Then the mind says, I have the desire. But you did not create the desire. See? Then where does the desire come from? It comes from the subconscious impressions that are collected there. Now, that will be the scene of the fourth option that will be given. So here we are still in the one before that one, and that is we are able to, by continuous offering and not taking responsibility for any damn thing in this world. Best way to live. Any problem? My God is Stanton. Stanton! Swamiji, 15 minutes, I'll be there. Oh, good. You don't have to think. See? So where is the breath coming? You are not thinking. Then why are you thinking? Where are the thoughts coming from? Then why are you thinking where the activity is coming from? See? We have to grow out of this, what do you call? We have to grow out of this concretization of idea that we have taken ourselves to be. And who are we? How we have become concretized? See, what do you do with to make concrete? You take the cement, you take the sand, you put water, isn't it? So you have taken the body. You have first taken all the relations and people around you. Then you have taken the body and you have added the water of the mind, and it has become, the personality has concretized. It has to melt, and you have to see that it is as it is. It is functioning of its own accord. And when you have to do this, not by running away from the world, because you cannot. If you run away from the world to do Abhyas Yoga, you will be most frustrated fellow. So you have to do it where you are. Till this pull, just like activity in the outside world is constantly happening, the desire in the mind must naturally come, not because you willed it. It should naturally come. I must do more practice for meditation. Come to Abhyas Yoga. So sometimes you are sitting, sometimes you must have noticed, sometimes you are sitting, watching TV or doing whatever, and suddenly the name of the Lord begins in your mind. Suddenly contemplation starts in your mind. Did you initiate it? No. But it happens. Take it and immediately put your mind in the right direction. That I didn't bring this about, He brought it about, and He will take it where it needs to. Oh, this is how my mind functions. Then it must be functioning like this in other places also. So I don't have to take responsibility. And if there is a feeling that I have to take responsibility, that I have to do my duty, that I have to do my puja, that I must do this and I must do that, offer everything at the feet of the Lord. And when you do like this, then you start rising above all the responsibilities and duties. You start rising above the egoistic living. Rising above meaning the ego or the arrogance that I have to do everything. This idea starts melting away. And as it melts away, the interim step before merging will be Abhyasa Yoga. Then your intellect does not have to bear the burden of deciding what one ought to do or avoid doing, so that the heart remains fixed on me without interruption. O Arjuna, does the carriage ever bother about whether the road is straight or crooked? Therefore, whatever work you do, whether it is perfunctory or perfect, dedicate it to me quietly. Quietly, huh? Don't tell the world. नहीं तो अच्छा ये तो भगवान की लीला है. I am offering it to the Lord. कुछ नहीं हुआ. The fact that you are saying that I am offering it to the Lord is also an arrogant attitude. It must be a inner secret. Nobody must come to know. In this manner, O Arjuna, if you perform actions with devotion, you will attain the highest form of liberation, namely identification with me. What is that identification with me? Sarupya. You will become one with me. And in this way, what is indicated in this particular verse is we are so addicted to doing action, karma, and by having this attitude, there is dispassion towards action and activity. Activity will continue, but the ownership of activity will dissolve away. So this vairagya is not towards activity. Then vairagya or dispassion is towards what? See, people, a lot of say, I am dispassionate, so now I am going to live a lazy life. If that was the case, our Swamiji will not be running around the world more busy than any grahastha, isn't it? Married fellow. Then what is this? Where does the stamina and the energy come to perform? Let it be Swamiji, or let it be Ammachi, or let it be Sai Baba, let it be our Jaggi Vasudev. He says, I sleep only 2.5 hours, 3 hours every day. See? That energy is not coming from will. That energy to sustain the activity is coming from him. Not because I am doing the activity, so the activity will reach its completion. No. So in this way, if he thinks or gets involved, then he is doing all the activity for the Lord to take him near the Lord. And in this way, Krishna Bhagavan says, my dear friend, even if this you are not able to do, I'll give you the fourth option. What is the fourth option? Fourth option is अथैतदप्यशक्तोऽसि कर्तुमद्योगमाश्रितः सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं ततः कुरु यतात्मवान्. He says in the 11th verse, if you are incapable of resorting to disinterested action for my sake also, so what was the previous verse? Dispassion towards all action. Activity is taking place, but there is no willful action taking place, no ownership of action precipitating. Then relinquish the fruit of all actions, being self-restrained. Then what is the last option that he is giving? Last option is perform all the actions because you feel you are the individual, you feel that you have to desire, you feel that you have to plan for your future, you feel that you have to, if you don't do, who will do? Oh, Lord will do. Who is Lord? I don't know. And even if you know, if you have an idea that there is something called Lord, but you are not convinced enough yet, because of your concretization of your personality, you are not convinced that whether he will come or not, whether he will take care of everything or not. Doubt is there. So for such a person who is totally off the world, involved in the world, the beginning, first step which was given in 2nd chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. What is that? Perform all the actions, but offer the result to me. The Lord is saying. So here he says, If you are incapable of resorting to disinterested action, see, the 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita told about Karma Sannyasa Yogo Nama, the yoga of Karma Sannyas, dispassionate action. That's exactly what it is here in the previous one. Third option. If you are not able to do that, go back to the 2nd chapter. Read again. And what is that? Then relinquish the fruit of all actions. And how do you relinquish all the fruits of all actions? By not becoming anxious about what the result is going to be. And there, what did we explain to you? Our mind goes only in 2 areas, past or future. And all anxiety, fear, restlessness, agitation is from the expectation of a particular result. Expectation of a particular result makes us restless. We lose our poise. We become anxious, and worst case scenario, anxiety attacks, isn't it? Panic button. All this is why? Because the attention is on the future. But tell me, you all know that even if your attention is on the future, can you have any guarantee that it is going to turn out exactly the way you have thought of? It may, but most of the times it will not. Because we are not that focused yet. If we are with focus we are doing, still it will not be 100% exactly how you do it, how you think it will be. And if it is not, then oh my God, all my efforts of so many years. See? Then what happens when we renounce the fruit of all actions at the feet of the Lord? 50% of your mind starts purifying. You can't do anything about past at the moment because it's dead and gone, but you're still attached to it. Your identity depends upon it. What can you do? You say, I want to forgive and forget my past. I don't want to remember who my father is, who my mother is, who my brother is, who my sister is, that I was a child, I was a teenage, I did so many mischiefs in teenage, I grew up, I was married or I had girlfriends and etc., etc., etc. I can't unforget them, all that. It is very difficult. But what I can do, and it clicks to us, is, hey, I don't know what is going to happen in the future. I'm doing this action. What is the activity taking place right now? I'm speaking. Huh? So what is the result of this speaking? You should understand. But if I put my attention on your understanding, that are they understanding or not? They are looking very, very dispassionate towards my speech. They got my ragya. Or he's nodding, he's understanding. What is he understanding? Oh, he's smiling. That means something clicked inside. She's very serious. Oh my God, I don't know if she will understand. If I put my attention on all these reactions that I'm getting and speak, this speech is taking place with the expectation that it must make an impact, it must change the world, that people must understand and people must, Swamiji, Swamiji, Swamiji. Then I have dug my grave right here and now, isn't it? Is there any guarantee for what? No, drop it. You do what you have to do. Leave the result in the hands of the Lord. That His grace, if someone understands, fantastic. If they don't understand, that is where they are. We can't change the world. See? And once this starts clicking, once you start understanding that I cannot preempt what the result will be. You know, the weather forecast, every day they say something, and yesterday they said it was 31, but it turned out to be 37, 36. One day before they could not forecast correctly. And you can say that you can you can forecast your future correctly, is it? I'll tell you, when I came to Australia, my sister took me to one mind control seminar. called alpha dynamics. Learned how to control my mind. Understood everything about it. How to manifest your desires. And what was my desire when I came to Australia? This is within first month. Then afterwards my mom and dad also did it. Well, get a job. So and there we went. You could, after 3 days of training, we could make the mind do things you can't imagine. So after that, follow-up classes every week we used to meet, and and everyone will put their energy on me, and I will put my energy on the goal that I want. Then after 5 minutes, we will put all energy on you, and you will take up our energy and put it on something else. And I manifested my job. And I said, I want this salary, I want this post, I want this place. Everything came. Everything came. But tell me, can you organize all the parameters? Even Ravana could not do. He said, I should not be able to kill this way, that way, but see, he left out man and monkey. Hiranyakashipu in the Satyug, he also managed, he thought he was smarter than the creator, and he says so many options, and he says, I should not be killed inside, outside, in day, in night, by a man or a animal, nor by a weapon or by astra shastra. He thought he was smart. He had covered all options. The Lord came and went beyond all those options and finished it. Isn't it? So we cannot. So I manifested my job, but I forgot in those 8 weeks, I had given myself 10 weeks. 8th week I had the job with the salary. But in those contemplations over 8 weeks, I forgot to mention how many years I should have that salary. Within 3 months, my salary became half. My staff became half. My position became one lower. How can you capture all options? You cannot. Then who can? He can. And once this clicks, that hey, my onus is on doing the action. Okay, still this moment the feeling is there that I am doing the action. I am in this fourth option. You are still the doer, but you take the result as the prasad of the Lord. You are not taking the result as I did it. And what happens as a result? 50% of your mind, which was about the future, 50% was about the past. That's all the mind is all about. In the present moment, there is no mind. So that 50% starts reducing 40, 30, 20, 10, and if it reduces at certain level, suddenly that mind which was concretized with past and future, and the future has melted away, suddenly a new option, a larger vision gets presented to it. It becomes available to higher possibilities. Because it has become, the thoughts of the future have become less in his mind. So anxiety has become less, fear of future has become less, security has gone out of his system, restless is not there, agitations are not there. Say? And the less number of thoughts in the mind, the more expanded the mind becomes. The more expanded the mind becomes, the possibility of thinking of higher vision, that becomes available to such a mind. And then what is that higher vision? The third option. So from fourth option, that mind which has become purified will go to the third option. What was the third option? That he starts offering all the activity as an offering to the Lord. If he keeps doing that, his focus is on the Lord. Automatically that mind gets purified even more. Now first he gave up expectations, now he is giving up doership, ownership. It becomes even more expanded, even more higher possibility. It migrates towards the second option, that whatever the distraction, and that distraction will be only in the mind, it will not be in the outside world. Whatever the distraction, he keeps bringing himself back to the theme of the Lord again and again, again and again. And the mind becomes focused, single pointed. And that takes him to the first option, which is a natural abidance in the merging into the Lord. See, this is the whole process. Beautiful, no? But we have to, don't fool yourself by thinking I am in the first option. Always begin from the first one from the bottom. And for that matter, when you come to the seat of meditation, don't straight away jump into the mind. If it's naturally happening, good. But if you have to put force, don't. Start from the first option. Most of the time, why do we go to seat of meditation? Oh, I want to experience that peace and bliss. Desire, gone. Expectation is there. The first step itself is wrong. First step itself is wrong. See, Lord is infinite in nature. And in this creation there are no repetitions. Right? There are no repetitions in this creation. No, this moment which we had just, at this moment, it cannot be repeated in the next moment. It's already, so many things have changed. Your position has changed, your thoughts have changed, your disposition has changed, your inner environment has changed, the air has changed, your breathing has changed.
Time has changed.
In the second option, by bringing our attention again and again to the Lord, we pull our attention from the distractions to the Lord. That is a way of finding new ways of coming to the Lord. Normally what do? Oh, that is what Swamiji taught us. This is what I read in the book. And we keep repeating the same thing again and again and again and again and again. But life is not about repetition. There are no repetitions in this creation. So you have to find new ways of discovering the divine. And what is that new way of discovering the divine? Not becoming creative. But whatever the life is present into you, whatever the life, physically or at the mental level, whatever life is present to you, discover a way to convert it into a divine experience. But to discover a way to take your attention from that distraction, that what life has presented, find a way to surrender it at the feet of the Lord. To take our attention away from that what life has offered to us and bring our attention to the Lord. Because if you give attention to what life has given you, sometimes it will give you misery, sometimes it will give you happiness. And if you give value to it, you are caught up in the cycle again. You have to come out of it. You have to raise yourself above it. And in this way, in the fourth option, we haven't read this, na? Na tari he hi truz nedave karmamaza tari tu ga buza pandu kumara buddhi chiye pathi poti karma adi ka shevati mate bandhane kiriti duwad zari tari he hi aso sadi ke sandi माझा अतिसौ परिसंयतीसी वसो बुद्धी तुझी आणि जेणे जेणे वेळे घडती कर्मे सकळे तयाची तिये फळे तजी तू जाय वृक्ष कावेली लोटती फळे आली तैसी सांडी निपजली कर्मे सिद्धे परिमाते मनी धरावे काम जाऊ देशे करावे हे काही नको आघवे Zahude Shunyi. He says, O Partha, should you not be able to perform actions for my sake, then think along these lines. This is the fourth option. This is the compassion. So when we see sometimes Mahatmas, you will see masters, they never impose their will on someone. Someone comes from within, the answer comes. See, mirror doesn't decide what is going to reflect. Whatever comes in front of it, it will reflect that, isn't it? So is the master. If someone comes in front of him, he in what disposition, with what angle, with what faith and conviction he's asking, he's not working it out. Oh, is he convinced, or is he having faith, or did not do namaskar to me, so I will answer, I'll first check him out. Nothing. All this manipulative working out does not happen in a Mahatma's mind. It's spontaneous, like a mirror. Someone comes in, just like in Buddha's life, someone came to him and he said, "Oh, Deva, is there God?" He says, "Yes, he is there." Then after a few days, another person came. He says, "Oh, Deva, is there no God?" He says, "No, it is not there." Ananda was standing behind the Buddha. He says, "First you said there is God. For the second person you said there is no God. What is the truth?" Buddha smiled. He said, "Were they your questions? Who asked you to listen? If it is not your question, don't worry about, because the answer is person specific. If I answer you something, it is not meant for others. It is to you, because you are asking the question. You cannot you stand in front of the mirror and someone else's reflection come. It is not going to happen, man. It is not going to happen, as much as you may try. So is with masters. So what comes out of them at that time is for the best of that person who is in front of them. There is no judgment, there is no biasness, there is no hatred, there is no like, there is no dislike. It's just a mirror without any preemptive, preformed notion, just reflects. Same way does a master. And that person may not understand what the master has said, but it is always for that person's benefit. See? And that only comes about, and we see those who are yogis, they are able to perform like this. Those who are devotees, they are able to perform like this. Those who are jnanis, they are able to perform like this. Those who are following and they are perfected in the Kundalini or the Kriya Yoga path, they are able to perform like this, like a clean mirror. See? So here Krishna Bhagavan says, "O Arjuna, O Partha, should you not be able to perform actions for my sake, then think along these lines. If you think it difficult to dedicate your actions to me before you resolve to do it, or after, before you undertake it, or later, then leave it alone. Even if I have pressed you to perform actions for my sake and dedicate them to me, you need not do so." See how much love the Lord has. He is saying, forget about the first three options that I have given you. That you have to place your mind in me, that you have to do Abhyasa Yoga, or that you have to offer all the actions to me. Forget about all that, because if you try to do that, it's going to make you agitated. If there is a doubt about any of these three before, wherever you find yourself, if you find that it is difficult, it is not happening, oh, I think, what can I do again more? Understand, it's time to leave that path. Don't pursue it, because the more you force, the more agitated you will become. It's like a iron which is cold and you are trying to mold the iron. You will hit it so many times, still it will not mold itself. You have to heat it up first. And in that heat, it must expand. And when it expands, then you can change it to the shape that you want. Exactly the same is our mind. Right now it is like a concrete. When it puts too much effort, too much doership, too much everything, too much desire, it's like a concrete. Very difficult to mold it. It must melt. So here Bhagwan himself is, Gyaneshwar Maharaj is saying in the commentary that give up all the three previous options. Whatever I said before, in this fourth options, it's null and void. Don't even go there. Because if you go there, you are going to get disturbed. Then what you should do? He says, even if I have pressed you to perform actions for my sake and dedicate them to me, you need not do so. Then restrain your intellect, and whenever you undertake any actions, abandon all thought about their fruit wherever you can. He is not saying that from morning till evening. It will not be possible to begin with. In the whole day, maybe few activities you will be able to give up the action, a result. Okay, it's a good beginning. One a day, fantastic. And slowly, one will become 5, 5 will become 10, 10 will become 20, 20 will become 50. And slowly, every activity you will not expect a result. But it will happen gradually. Just as the trees and creepers drop down their fruits, you should also relinquish the fruits of the actions performed by you. You need not resolve to undertake such actions and perform them for my sake, but let them go into the void. जो होगा होगा, देखा जाएगा. अभी मेरे को इतना, I can understand that this is what I have to do. I am doing it to the best of my ability. Whatever comes, I'll take it. I'll accept. Whatever the consequence, I'll take it. Because we don't know what the consequence of the action is going to be. I'm hungry and I take mango and I eat one mango. Oh, I should not eat 2 mangoes. Okay, I eat 1 mango. But now I'm thirsty and I drink water over mango. Then you see what happens to you. Consequence will be you will be running to toilet every 5 minutes. See? But no, I'm thirsty. Who said? Where is it written? Consequence, whatever action you do, consequence will be there. But what is the consequence that you cannot 100% write it down? So wherever you find that it is possible for you, because you are a person who has to live your life, responsibilities of the children, responsibility of the house, responsibility of whatever, you have your job responsibility. Whenever you are able to invoke this understanding that, hey, I have to do what I can do. I will do it to my best of my ability. But I will not get agitated with regards to the result. Then that activity will also be done much better. The quality of that activity will be much better because it is being done without expectation. See? In this way, continuing, खड़की जैसे वर्षले का आगी माझी पेरिले कर्म मानी देखिले स्वप्न जैसे आगा आत्म जेच्या विशी जीवू जैसा निरभिलाषी तैसा कर्मी अशेषी निष्काम होई वन्हीची जवाळा जैसी वाया जाय आकाशी क्रिया जिरोदे तैसी शून्या माझी अर्जुना हा फलत्यागू आवडे कीर असलगू परियोगा माझी योगू धुरेचा हा येणे फलत्यागे सांडे ते कर्मन विरुढे एकची वेळे बेळू जाळे माझे जैसी. He says, like the rain fallen on a rock, a seed sown in fire, or a dream seen in sleep. Let all such actions be fruitless. So he is telling you that all actions are of this quality. What is that? First example he gives, like a rain fallen on a rock. It cannot give rise to anything. It cannot nourish anything. It falls on the rock and then it evaporates eventually. Second one, where is that? A seed sown in fire. Can seed sown in fire ever shoot or root? Not possible. And the third option, a dream seen in sleep. Can you eat food in the dream and say, I am full when you wake up? Not possible. Exactly like that is expectation of a particular result in life, from any action that you do. It's worthless thinking about it, because whatever has to, you think you are doing the action, but your action is influenced by how many things? By the land, by the collective consciousness, by the weather, by the politics, by the so many things. All you can do is, when you are coming from home to here, you don't know. You cannot say, I come here every day by this route. I know it perfectly. You don't know. Every time you come, the challenges are different. The light, sometimes you get a green, sometimes you get a orange, and you get a ticket if you cross it. So all you can do is, every time you come here, you remain alert. You don't expect that what conditions I got yesterday while driving here, I will get it same again. But instead, with alertness, you negotiate the traffic and reach the destination on time. That's all you can do. And hope, you can just say that I will negotiate through it and hopefully I will reach in time. See? Exactly the same way. To think that we will get the same challenges, we'll get the same situation, we'll get the same successes with doing the same thing that we have done all our life. Impossible, because things have already changed. Your one lecture and your mind has already changed. You cannot perform the way you performed yesterday or this morning. Impossible. And notice that in your life, every time you sit for sadhana, you are already a different person after that. So here he says that, O Partha, O Arjuna, just as a father does not entertain lewd desires for his daughter, be you desireless for the fruits of your actions. See how he gives an example, धक्का लग जाता है. Just like a father does not desire to be close to his daughter in a physical way, just like that, you should not be close to the results of your action. It will burn you. And what is that burning? What did I tell you before? Anxiety, restlessness, anxiousness, insecurity. Oh, I think I should not have performed these actions. I never get the result that I want. So I should stop performing in life. If you get into that straight depression. Be you desireless for the fruits of your actions. Let your actions become void. As the flames go waste in the sky, O Arjuna, renunciation of fruit may appear to you as an easy path, yet it is the foremost among the yogas. Why it is foremost among the yogas? Doing Ashtanga yoga, Pranayama yoga, Kundalini yoga, Japa yoga, Kriya yoga. Greater than them is Karma yoga. Why? Why?
Because always happening.
I?
It's always happening.
Because everyone finds doing karma all the time. And it is the first foundation. Very few are the people who will find themselves in the previous three options, but everyone finds themselves in this. And understand, in the second option also you have to give up results. In the third also you have to give up results. If the desire for result is there in the previous three options, you have lost the plot again. So how do you create the foundation? By doing the first one. Perform the actions but do not expect the result. Do the japa but do not expect the result. If your attention is, oh, I want to, once I took the name of the Lord and I got sucked in and it was so beautiful, and that memory you want to recreate, it will never be recreated because your attention is on some experience. And in that excitement or desire for that experience of being nobody, you are not doing what is required to be done, which is give up the desire. So such people do 10, 5, so many years they keep doing japa and access sadhana, but no transformation in their character has come about. No growth has taken, no maturity is there. No love is outflowing from their heart. Why? Because they have not done the first step. And what is the first step? Do not expect a result. This is what is told in Yama also. Perform yourself in the world in such a way that you do not get disturbed by anyone nor disturb anyone. Then what does that mean? You are doing what is required to be done, but you are not expecting any results because you are not imposing. Okay. O Arjuna, renunciation of fruit may appear to you as an easy path, yet it is the foremost among the yogas. Just as a bamboo tree becomes barren once it yields fruit, so the actions do not sprout on the relinquishment of the fruit. Now you have to understand this principle here, what is given. Why your attention should not be on the fruit of the action. When your attention is on the fruit of the action, two things will happen. Yes, I did it. Or again it has happened. Again my business has failed. Again my efforts have gone to waste. Again my resources have gone to waste. Or every time, yes, again yes, again yes. And the ego keeps growing. That I did it by my efforts. In the second option, you go into depression. Right? But what is happening when you interact with the result in this manner? A memory is created. Impressions. Impression is precipitated onto your mind. When we are doing actions and not expecting a result, particular result, whatever the prasad, then no precipitation of memory, because your attention is on action, not on result. I'll keep doing. Okay, aa gaya. Oh, so you had, just like some people put money into the share market and they put it and they forget about it. It accrues. They did not realize that they bought those shares at that time, and they are not checking the shares every day. Oh, how much has it has gone 0.1? Oh, it has gone -2. Oh, it has gone +3. Such people go crazy. But those who have put it, forgotten about it. बाद में पता है, अरे, that $1 share has given me $10 today. Fantastic. Someone tells him that, अरे, इतना हो गया. He said, हाँ ठीक है, but where I have to place now? Where do I invest now? He's focused on the action. He's not focused on the result. The result will take care of itself. The more integrated disposition while doing action, the result will automatically take care. Whatever it is. Sometimes you do the best of actions and you get the worst of results. And sometimes you don't do any action or minimal action and you get a vast result. Isn't it? More than you can ever imagine. There's no rule. This ego thinks there is a system. And to satisfy and dissolve this ego, a counter system was created, and that is called scriptures. To dissolve this fellow. And he thinks, oh, I understood this, I understood that. पता चला बाद में सब कुछ अभी इतना पढ़ लिया क्या समझ आया. But yet, as long as this feeling of doership is there, scriptural way or any Mahatma tells you that is the best way to follow. Then in the तैसे येणे ची शरीरे शरीरा येणे सरे किम बहुना ये रझारे चेरा पडे पै अभ्यासाची या पावटी ठाकीजे ज्ञान किरीटी ज्ञाने येईजे भेटी ध्यानाची ये मग ध्यानासी खेव देती आघवेची भाव तेव्हा कर्म जात सर्व धुरी ठाके कर्म जेथ दुरावे तेथ फल त्यागु संभवे त्यागास्तव आंगवे शांती सगळी म्हणवनी यावया शांती हाची अनुक्रमो सुभद्रापती म्हणवनी अभ्यासूची प्रस्तुती करणे एथ. He says, then even in the present life, physical activities come to a stop and there is an end to the cycle of birth and deaths. O Arjuna, one attains knowledge through study of meditation, through study of scriptures, and meditation becomes possible with the attainment of knowledge. Then the different mental states become merged in meditation, after which all actions stop of their own accord. With the stoppage of activity, renunciation of fruit automatically comes, resulting in peace of mind. There is only one course open, O Partha, to attain serenity of mind. Therefore, you should undertake scriptural study first. So, what happens when we don't focus on the results? There is no precipitation of memory. This memory, most of the memory that you collect during the day gets released in dream. But depending upon the intensity, like when yesterday we went to some child's house, he reads outer space comics a lot. And in the dream, he started screaming that someone has taken my form and is living in my body. In the dream, he's screaming. So he's imagining, because he interacted with that fiction, with that character so intensely. When we get involved with one person so intensely, we fall in love, then waking, dreaming, sleeping, we are only thinking about that person. Similarly, a devotee is from morning till night, with every breath, with every thought, he is thinking of the Lord only. It depends what type of memory we are creating. So, when our attention is on the results, memory is precipitated. This memory, in technical terms, it is called vasana, subconscious impressions, which have not been released in the dream. They sprout in your mind as desire. Then desire prompts action. Then action is performed again with ego. Then again expectation of result. And again new precipitation of memory. And this cycle we get caught up. For such a person there is no escape. And he feels life is a load to carry. So therefore the first step, perform actions without any expectation. What happens? No precipitation of memory. You are just performing the action. action takes place only in the present moment. So your attention is totally in the now. If you are listening to me right now and your attention is on what you heard last time, you are not in the present moment. Or you are comparing what is being said with something that you have read, then it is not. You are not in the present moment. Or I say something and or Krishna Bhagavan says something in the Gita and you think, oh yeah, I must do that and then that will happen. Gone. You lost the plot. Right now, you are required to listen. I am required to speak. Let's do that 100%. What will happen as a result of this? Who cares? Something will happen. Let it be his prasad. If he wants to reveal it to us, good. If he doesn't want to reveal it to us, also good. We should not be worried. Our responsibility, if we feel we are responsible in life, because as an individual, then our responsibility is only to perform actions dealing with whatever life is placing us, wherever life is placing us, whatever life is throwing at us. Deal with it without expecting any result. And in this way, this is the karma phala tyaga. Sarva karma phala tyaga. As we keep doing this, less precipitation, mind expands as I told you before, less desires will sprout forth, a new understanding will take place, then our attention will go to that even these actions that I am doing, I am not doing, they are happening, then penultimate step, you'll offer the actions also to the Lord. Then from physical actions you will go to, first it is the gross action, then it is the speech action, then it is the mental action, thought action. Then step by step, slowly you come to that mental place, and when that happens, you are in the first step. What was the first step? Fix your mind. Maya Veshya Manobuddhi. Na? Mayyeva mana adatsva mai buddhim niveshaya. Then when you come to this point, you think that you are. It is not that you are taking the mind and intellect and placing it in the Lord. It is nothing like that. You discover what it means. I told already. What is that? What is that disposition to which the Lord is saying, allow me to take over your mind? You work it out, or you find it within you. What is that disposition? And if you can't find, start from fourth option, then come to third option, then come to second option, then come to the first option. And what happens next? What he's asking us, here he also says that the best way to attain serenity of the mind. Serenity of the mind means agitation-free mind. Equilibrium of the mind. The restlessness has become subsided. What happens when the mind has become calm? The reflection is pure. Reflection of what? Reflection of the self, or reflection of the Lord. The appearance of the Lord will be absolutely doubt-free. Even if one wave is there, the doubt is still there. It's keeping you separate. But when you allow that mind to be taken over by the Lord, the mind becomes absolutely calm. Because the capacity to make the mind calm is only with the Lord, not in the effort. But how can I allow the Lord, I have to think of the Lord? Yes, you begin with effort so that you can reach that effortless state. And in this manner, apply. And how do you come to know all these things? By studies of scriptures. Or by being in satsang with the teachers and masters. Why? They are able to take those same information in the scriptures and make it palatable. Like Gyaneshwari Maharaj with so many beautiful examples, a common man who used to go to listen to him. Intelligent people in a society are always few. Majority were ignorant people, farmers, workers, carpenters, householders. To them, how to explain? He used all these examples. See? And in this way, every day, our day must begin with a reconnection with connecting ourselves with the Lord. Every day we must study at least one verse of the Bhagavad Gita or any other scripture. What happens then? You get enough material to contemplate for the rest of the day. Early in the morning, remember one verse. Mayeva mana adatva, all these words. Understand word to word meaning of that and go to work. In the train, oh, my, what does me mean? Oh, my mana, what does mana mean? So you can keep contemplating, so much to contemplate on. And this way grow and be free. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Hari Om.